me again. I'm here today to talk to you about how the expression number 1 supports the life path 2. Now I'm going to be doing this for all the expression numbers and all the life paths. So I'm going to continue with expression number 1 and all the life paths and tell you how the expression number assists each life path. And then I'll move on to expression 2 and how expression 2 supports each life path. Now, some life paths are going to be supported better by some numbers than others. Well, with the expression number 1 and a life path 2, it's a little bit of a mixed bag with a little bit of caveats. So what I'm going to do first of all is go over the basics of expression number 1. Now, I already have done a video on expression number 1. I'm going to put a link to that in the description box on this video, so you can watch the whole expression 1 video. It's where I go into a lot more detail about expression number 1 and all the different expression number 1s. And I'm just going to go over that briefly today to remind you all about the strengths that the expression 1 brings, and then look at how that supports what needs to be achieved if you're a life path 2. Okay, so first of all, I'll just clear myself. God, messy family, eh? So the expression number 1 gives you talent that supports your life path. So when you're speaking to your spirit guide and you discuss with your spirit guide what you need to learn in this lifetime, you set your life path. So, for example, you decide that you would need to learn more about working with others and dealing with your responsibility to others. You may choose a life path 2. Then what you need to do is to choose an expression number with your spirit guide that you feel will support you in achieving your life path, whatever it may be. For this video, it's life path 2. Now, it's a bit of a mixed bag with this one, but I'll tell you a bit more about that the more we go on. So let's keep on with my overview of expression 1 first of all. So you have a talent for leadership. You're that channel, the one, the upright one, the channel from spirit down to the earth. You're the channel for the new, the unique, the ideas, the groundbreaking, unique ideas. The creator, the initiator, dynamic energy, getting the job done, very energetic number, confidence, independence, very, very assertive, very much a doer. Let's get it done. So, you're not one for planning as such. You just want to get started. Lots of energy, very, very passionate, very, very passionate. So this is the talent that the expression number 1 brings you to help you support your life path. It makes you a talented leader, a pioneer, of course, of new ways, the unique, the groundbreaking, a strong energy of initiation, as I've said. Let's get started. Let's get going. Starting something new. New projects are very exciting for an expression number 1. There is, expression 1s tend to sort of fade off a little bit towards the end, when the new idea is getting a bit boring to them. The new idea tends to fade a bit. So the expression 1 needs to be able to pull people in and lead them to the fruition of their goals. Confidently show your unique ideas and be quite happy with the accolades that come with it. Happy to listen to the clapping and, be told well done by people. You're not shy. You're not backwards at coming forwards. Very confident, very assertive, very determined, and a risk taker, but also very independent. Now, the independence and the tendency sometimes to push people away is not what's going to help the life path 2. But there are some elements of the expression 1 that could be quite helpful to the life path 2. So the expression 1, they see no reason to follow dogma. They're innovative. They're not going to follow the crowd. You're not an expression 1 if you copy everyone else, follow the crowd, and just compare yourself to other people. No. You need to be unique. You need to be different. You need to be groundbreaking. You're the person people go to for answers. You get things done, you get those answers. There's no messing around with the expression number 1. This is the talent it brings you. A driven doer, very passionate, very productive, very, very hardworking, full of practical solutions to get the job done. and extremely independent, which is good in some ways. But when it comes to a life path too, that could be a sticky one. But on we go. So the talent, the expression number one, they're going to choose careers where they're working for themselves, taking their unique ideas forward, running their own business with their own unique ideas, running big corporations, maybe being even the founder of the corporation, the person that came up with the idea and then is now the CEO of that foundation, that business. Or general management, because you're such a talented leader, being an entrepreneur, getting the job done. You've got to be a go-getter. You've got to be driven. You've got to be good for achievement when you're in expression number one. So perfect for an entrepreneur. Inventor, of course, initiation of ideas. Administration, organization is a good one for a one. Teacher, imparting knowledge to others and being that authority figure, very easy for a one. Maybe even a writer, an author, a coach, a trainer, a speaker. These are all, this isn't an exhaustive list. There are many careers that an expression one could do, but this gives you a general idea of how the expression one's talent manifests in the world. So when you're low, you can be a bit insecure. You compare yourself to other people a lot, tell yourself you're not good enough. You can be a bit like that. You can be struggle to be heard, feeling that you don't fit in. And the reason why you don't feel you fit in is because you're unique. You're coming up with all those unique ideas, which is what your expression number is. That's what your talent is. But because you're coming up with unique ideas, you need to be unique yourself. And when you're unique, you don't fit in. But, even though expression ones or life path ones strive to fit in, that's not actually what they're here to do. They're here to lead others, but they're here to be different, to bring that groundbreaking ideas. So, don't be comparing yourself to others if you're an expression or a life path one. You take responsibility for your powerful choices. When you're feeling low, you often don't do that. And you're such a powerful person. And with great power brings responsibility. You need to take responsibility for that. And the one under stress tends not to take responsibility for their powerful actions, which can be a difficulty. And, the one always needs to express, always has to use their energy. They always need to be doing and expressing with passion. And, they can do for negative as well as positive. So you have to ensure when you're in expression one that you're always channeling your immense energy and power to good things and not discharging it into unhealthy things or unhealthy behaviors or even addictions to substances and things like that. It can drop that low. You need positive affirmations to affirm to yourself that you are good enough. Positive affirmations like, I am good enough. My uniqueness is important to the world. I am a channel of the unique. We need you here. You are good enough. You are capable, and you need to show the world how good enough and capable you really are. You're creative, you're capable. Affirm that to yourself daily. If you need to, hourly. Whatever you need to do to help bring you to the point where you think, yes, these are my ideas and I'm going to take them forward and show the world them. So, Johnny David Higgins, my fictional young man, he is an expression number, talent number 281. Now, I've worked that out by using his full birth name on his birth certificate. So I've taken his full name, Johnny David Higgins, and I've broken each one down. It is so important that you do that. Okay, if you add right across vertically, your numbers are going to, the main number will be the same, but the steps towards that main number are going to be a little bit out. They're going to be askew. And I've learned through experience that the vertical add-in is the accurate way to do it. I've spoken to a couple of people lately that were pro the horizontal. I did a reading for them and they realised at the end that actually their numbers, resonated more with the numbers in the vertical. So it's a very, very strong belief of mine through many, many people that I've worked with, that the vertical way of adding is the most accurate. So I start with the first name. So Johnny, we add Johnny up, we get 23, but we reduce that down before we continue. So the 1, the 6, the 8, the 5, as you can see, the J vibrates at the 1, the O at the 6. You see what I've done here. The H vibrates at the 8 and the N at the 5. Then I add them together, it comes to 23. Then because 23 is not a master number, I continue to reduce down until I get to 5. Then I do David, add all up the numbers of the vibrations of each letter, and I get to 22. And because that's a master number, I leave that be. Okay, that's the problem with adding horizontal. You often miss those master numbers. You know, you need to see those master elements within your birth name. And Higgins, adding all the number energies for each letter, adds to 46. That's not a master number. So I add the 4 and the 6 and I get 10. Not a master number. So I need to add the 1 and 0 and finally get down to the 1. When all of the names are reduced, some people have more than one middle name, but I've kept it at 1. Add all these numbers together that you've reduced down, so the 5 plus the 22 plus the 1 equals the 281. So we know Johnny David Higgins is a talent number or expression number 1. His life path number comes from his birth date. So Johnny David Higgins, expression number 281, was born on the 18th of September 1964. So again, we break down, we add vertically. So we add the 1 and the 8. Equals 9. I leave that as it is. It's a single digit. It's in the 9th month. So we put a 9 there. September is the 9th month. And then we add up the year. The 1, the 9, the 6 and the 4, which in this case comes to the 2 and the 0. And of course you add the 2 and the 0 and that equals the 2. So I'm now going to add, as I did with the expression number, the 9 and the 2. And I come to a life path number 2. So Johnny David Higgins is a life path number 2. But an expression number 281, as you can see here. And what that means is he is here in this lifetime to achieve the life path number 202. So he's here to develop excellent social skills, here to learn to work with others, be a mediator, be tactful, be sensitive, have good social skills. This is not something that he will find easy. This is something he's here to learn. It's something that he said to his spirit guide before this lifetime that he needed to improve. You know, social skills, especially early in life, could be an issue for Johnny because that's his life path. That's his struggle. That's his development for this lifetime. You know, and the biggest thing for the life path too, as you're going to find out in a minute, is not just working for others. The biggest part of the struggle of the life path too is having boundaries, knowing when you stop serving other people and know when to look after you, because the 2 has the tendency to be a little bit overly shy, timid and walked upon, almost to the point where they're getting towards servitude. You know, they're passed up for accolades, they work behind the scenes and often don't get acknowledged for their work. And you know, that's the difficulty that the life path 2 goes through. I mean, all the life paths go through difficulties. That's just the number 2 life path. So you're here to serve, you're here to cooperate, you're here to learn to do all those things if you're a life path 2. You're here to learn to mediate, be tactful, work together, but also know when to stop. When does your service stop? When are you doing too much that you're being taken advantage of, or that it's actually becoming servitude? And this is where the expression number 1 could be of help to you, because the expression number 1, they're a leader. And it's not necessarily that they're all that good in schmoozing or you know, amazing at their social skills. That's not how the expression 1 supports the 2. How the expression 1 supports the 2 is, I feel, bringing more assertiveness into a 2's nature. So they're better able to balance the responsibility for themselves and their responsibility to serve others. We'll go into more detail. Right, so I'm just going to quickly skim over the expression numbers, because remember, I've done an expression number 1 video, and I'm going to put that in the description box, and that gives you more detail on the expression numbers. What I'm going to do for this video is I'm just going to scoot through the 3 or 4 pages that show all the 1 expression numbers and how they're different. I've explained them all in detail in my expression number 1 video. So on this one, I'm not going to rabble on and do it all again. I'm just going to show you this page. And then this page, if you need to pause it because I've gone too fast and read whichever one relates to you, do so. And then this page, the 641 upwards, these are the rarer expression numbers. These are for people that have lots of names or lots of names that are full of master numbers, so it adds up to a high number. But these numbers are rarer, but I put them in because it's possible. And if it's possible, you need information on it, right? And this is the last one, 91. Now I'm going to move on, but if you need to have a look at this, spend a bit more time with it, pause this video and have a read, or go and have a look at my expression 1 video because I explain it in more detail there. So the life path 2, the big thing for the life path 2, as I've said, is about balancing your responsibility to others with your own needs. This is how the expression number 1 could be quite helpful there, because the expression number 1, the energy of the 1, it thinks about themselves that little bit more. And they're going to be better able to look at the situation and think, no, this is the boundary here. I've done enough and I need to step back and take a rest. You know, that's where I think that the expression number 1 can have the biggest impact on the 2, helping the 2 to establish those boundaries so they don't end up in servitude. To serve, cooperate, work as part of a team. Now, the 1 is more the leader. The 1 hasn't got the best social skills. So a person that chooses an expression 1 with their life path 1, with their life path 2, they must be in a situation where it's not the fact that they can't work in a team. It's more about the fact that they don't have the personal power, or haven't had in previous lives, to stop them from being walked on and taken advantage of. So in this lifetime, they want to be able to learn to do that. And you might choose the expression number 1 if that's really the biggest issue for you. It's not how you get on with others, maybe in previous lives. Maybe it's how you were treated and how much you did for others. Maybe it was because you haven't known your boundaries for many lifetimes. And that's what the 1 can help the 2 to do. The 1 is going to balance the 2 out a bit, because the 2 can be very pro their relationships and burn themselves out. And that's the biggest thing they need to learn. And the 1 is going to bring a little bit more of a selfish edge to the 2. And that's how the 1's going to support the 2, not to be trodden on, not to be pushed aside, not to be forgotten, or, having their work, not being given the credit for the work they do and being taken by other people. The 1 can give the 2 the assertiveness to go, hang on a minute, these are my boundaries. And, this was my idea. That was my work. Where's my reward here? The 2 is also here to develop excellent social skills, to be a mediator, advisor, and a counsellor. Well, the 1, they're not overly social, but they're quite good at leading people. They can be a bit overly harsh, though. But the life path 2 may, water that down a bit, because, the life path 2 is a much lower energy. But yeah, the expression 1 is going to be more about bringing the 2 more assertiveness rather than social skills. Okay. The 2 can always be counted upon to make things happen, and they need to be there to make things happen behind the scenes. Well, the 1 is amazing at that. The 1 makes things happen. If any number is going to help the 2 to make things happen, it's going to be the expression number 1. So that's where the expression number one will shine more. Consider yours and others' needs were equally. Like I said, those boundaries are going to be better held there if you have an expression one, because the expression one will make sure their needs are met. In fact, the expression one borders on selfish at times. So this will help balance out the two. If they've had previous lives filled with servitude and they just haven't had the personal power to stand up for themselves. And as I've said, personal power, maybe you struggled in previous lifetimes with your personal power, and that's what you're going through with your spirit guide. I need the life path too. I need to be able to be stronger, be able to work with others and assert myself strongly. And I need the one to help me to do that. So you took the strength of the expression number one with you to help you achieve your two life path. To be assertive enough to ensure others respect your boundaries. Well, there you go again. No expression number is going to be better than the expression number one at helping the life path two to attain boundaries. So when it comes to the expression, in conclusion, how the expression number one supports the two is to help them not be so walked on, help them to be more assertive, to stand up for themselves more so that people don't push them aside and treat them like a doormat. To always be counted upon, to get things done. You know, the one will give you the amazing energy of initiation and getting things done. Balancing your personal power so that you're not walked on by others, so people see that you're more of a force to be reckoned with. You are powerful. You know, because the two can come across quite shy and helpful in service, people underestimate you. And when you've got an expression number one, they better not definitely underestimate you. Assertive enough to ensure others respect your boundaries. Of course, like I've said, the one is going to do that. So it's more about the assertiveness, not allowing yourselves to be walked on. The expression one's less useful with, very much less useful when it comes to the soft social skills. But when it comes to having those boundaries, which is the most important part of the life path too, the one will excel for you there if you use it correctly. So, but it's different depending on the life path here as well, because for the two, there's really only one way to be a life path two, because the other one is an 11-2, which is still a 2, yeah, but it's really a master life path 11. I put it in my video because it reduces down to a 2, albeit a higher vibration. Now, I feel and know from my intuition and research that the expression number one, I feel, is much more useful for an 11. So let's say if someone was an 11-2, the expression number one is going to add to that life path 11's ability to channel ideas from spirit, because 11 is the energy of the double one. So it fits a little bit closer than maybe the 202, but as I've said, the expression number one is useful. So I'm going to start with 202. So again, I'm focusing on the fact that the boundaries will be kept within expression number one. The 202 is here to serve, to cooperate, to work as a team, to get things done behind the scenes. So they're often going to be the one that might be walked on, overlooked, treated like a slave, put into almost servitude at the worst, overlooked, treated like a doormat, you know, that kind of situation. And that's what the two fights all their lives. It's about having that boundaries and the assertiveness to say, no, I've had enough. My service now stops here. Do I need to read any more of this? So a 2 that listens to their inner knowing and intuition will be more balanced, and the 1 is going to be great at helping the 2. Even though the 2 is already a sensitive life path, the 1's going to help the 2 to channel more inner knowing, more intuition, more perception from spirit. You know, there's so many ways the 1 can help the 2, and being that channel, being that perceptive in that perception and that inner knowing, that's going to help you if you're in expression 1. The expression 1 will help you, give you that ability to channel that energy from spirit. more balanced and able to balance your responsibility to the responsibility of others, to care for your own well-being too. The 1 is going to be great to help you do that if you're a life path 202. If you're achieving your path, you know when to step in and when it's time to step out. Take that well-earned rest. The 1 can help you do that because the 1 energy has the assertiveness and will mix very well with the 2 to help the 2 regain some personal power and make sure they're not walked on and make sure they're an equal part of any team. Because as I've said, the 2 has tends to take on too much responsibility, work too hard for everyone else, and end up being in servitude. And the 1's going to stop that happening if they use it properly. The 11, that's a double energy of the 1. So you're expression 1, but you're here to achieve the double 1. How cool is that? So you're talented at the single 1, but now you've got to double that in your life path to the double 1. There's a link there, right? So if you're a life path 11-2, you have double the need to be a leader, create something unique, new and innovative with confidence. If you're an expression number 1, you've got that ability to channel spirit, innovative ideas, leadership. It's just that in this lifetime, you have to do it in the double, but having the skill to do that in the expression 1 has got to be good, right? So all you're doing is taking your talent and putting it into overdrive, doubling the 1. So an 11-2 that listens to their inner knowing, the 11-2 doesn't necessarily need the 1 to help them channel energy from spirit. The master number 1, the veil between the master number 1 and, and the spirit world is so much thinner. They don't necessarily need the energy of the expression 2 all the time, but it's good to have that extra talent, right? So a master number 11-2 life path may find it easier with an expression number 1 to channel ideas than maybe some other 11-2s that have got different expression numbers. But of course, the expression number 1 can bring some difficulties with it as well. The expression number 1 is quite into realism and maybe less spiritual. And of course, the 11-2 is a very spiritual number. So the expression 1's not going to support every element of the 11-2, like it doesn't support every element of the life path 2 in general. But there are certain elements that the expression 1 will be able to help with. And for the 11-2, it's going to be them innovative ideas, that ability to lead. But the 11-2 are going to be much more supportive leader. But I can't, the expression 1 and the double 1 are going to work together beautifully, right? They're the same energy in the double. The 11-2 suffers from a little bit more nervous tension because really you are a master number. I haven't stressed it enough in this video that when you're an 11, a 22 or a 33, you're a master number. That's a very, very, very difficult life path to achieve. So if you are a life path 11, 22 or 33, you've got to cut yourself a break here. Some people don't ever achieve their master life path, or certainly not until later in life. This is a very, very difficult number to try and achieve. And the expression 1 can support with assertiveness and helping the 11-2 to channel those unique ideas, that unique message, that illumination that the life path master 11-2 must bring to the world. It's what they promised. It's the contract they signed. So that's how the 11... Rewind. That's how the expression number 1 can support the life path 2 and expression number... I cannot talk. That is how... Let's start again. The expression number 1 can support the life path 202 and the master 11-2 life path. Okay, finally got that out there. I hope you found my video useful today in how the expression number can support the life path 2. If you've liked my video, please click that thumbs up button. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon to keep up to date with all my latest uploads. You can go to my website at soulexplorer.net, or you can email me at katie@soulexplorer.net. And alongside my expression 1 video, I'm going to put links to my social media in the description box. Now, as ever, guys, as I always said, trust the soul within you. Only your own soul, your own perceptions and your own gut feelings knows what's best for you. Next video is going to be the expression 1 with the life path 3. See you soon.